just chill. I got this. You just sit back and take the ride. Yeah. There we go. I got it. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the first episode of the J.C. Stone Show. This podcast is going to bring you into the lives of the people that are J.C. Stone. We're a landscaping company out of Circleville, Ohio, a town full of pumpkins, rehabs, and badass landscaping dudes. Today, I've got a special guest with me, Jeffy Pumpkin Tower Fowler.
What's up?
How you doing today, Jeffy?
Good. How are you, boss?
Oh, not too bad. I'm glad you're part of the first episode here, man. This is cool.
For sure.
The plan with this thing is to get you guys in here, tell some of your story, tell some of what you've been through, give some inspiration to some other people going through the same thing, and hopefully tell some entertaining stories in the process. So I say we rip this thing right off from the bat here, and tell me a little bit about you from the very beginning. Start with your childhood, and tell me where you came from. You know what it was about. Let me hear.
Well, I started out just like a normal kid, playing sports. Growing up in Circleville was pretty cool. We had the pumpkin show every year. We looked forward to that. You know what I mean?
Greatest free show on earth.
Absolutely. Highly encourage anybody to come check it out. But yeah, it was a pretty good childhood for the most part, bro, until after like 12, 13 years old, mom and dad started going through a rough patch where my dad wanted to stay out all the time. My dad was a drug dealer and my mom liked to gamble, and around 13 they got a divorce, and so my dad started out selling weed and running. He was just never home, and so that led to harder stuff. You know what I mean?
Did you live with your mom after the split up? Yeah,
I stayed with my mom, but my dad was my hero. You know what I mean? I looked up to him. I liked how everybody looked up to him, and like I wanted that. I wanted to be that guy. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
And but anyways, I stayed with my mom. Me and two of my sisters stayed with my mom, and my oldest sisters, they went off on their own. Thank God, the addiction part missed them. You know what I mean?
How many sisters did you have?
I have 5, but 4 of them lived with us, and the 2 oldest moved out, after mom and dad divorced. You know what I mean? And once the divorce happened is when the family just literally fell apart, bro.
Do you know why they divorced?
Well, it was because my dad didn't want to stay home. He wanted to run. He wanted to do what he wanted to do. You know what I mean?
Living that life.
Yeah. Yep. And it caught up to him, bro. And his family got ripped away from him. And I was just 12, 13, so I really didn't think into it a whole lot at the time. But now when I look back at it, I feel like that was probably the root of me and 2 of my sisters' problem. You know what I mean? Because that's when the addictions started setting in, and it just felt like us kids was just there by ourselves. You know what I mean? Like mom was there, but she wasn't there. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. What kick-started the path of destruction, I guess? At what age, and what was the, I don't know what you'd call it. What started it?
What started the journey?
Yeah.
Well, honestly, the divorce, man.
Yeah.
Like, just it felt like the family. Like I said, I felt like the family got ripped apart. My sisters was like didn't have a dad. I didn't have a dad. It's what it felt like. You know what I mean? Even though we could still ask him for whatever he wanted, and he'd give us whatever he wanted, and he literally did give us whatever he wanted. Like all we had to do was ask him. And I think my mom didn't like that. You know what I mean? She felt like she needed it or something. You know what I mean?
Did he have more of the means to do that than she did?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was street smart. He was smart, bro. When it came to hustling and just, you know what I mean, gathering stuff up, making stuff happen. But so to answer your question, what started it was the divorce, and I wanted to be with him. So when I would have him come pick me up, my mom wouldn't like it. you know, and then I would end up being with him for a week, 2 weeks at a time. And, you know, he sold dope. So that's all I was around. And eventually it just led into like, he was either going to let me do it or I was going to do it anyways.
What kind of dope are we talking about?
Crystal meth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He was a meth cook. He started out just selling it, and then he started cooking it. And the next thing you know, the federal marshals just came and tore us up.
Now, that was part of that big bust that happened back in the 90s, I guess it was,
99,
right?
2000 area, yeah.
They got a bunch of guys in town. The feds came in or whatever, did the whole big meth bust. And what I was around town back then. In fact, I had a stepdad that was involved in that. He ended up doing some big time in prison for it, but the way I remember it, it started with this like mobster dude out of Chicago. And I wouldn't say his name if I could remember it, but he came down here, taught a certain someone how to make the stuff, and it just kind of spread like wildfire. That guy had a bunch of dudes that he showed how to do it. And next thing you know, there was this whole entire ring in town where they were making like the best meth on the planet, and it was spreading like wildfire across. It took the town over.
Oh man, it definitely did, and it took over my life at 13. You know what I mean?
And your dad was one of the cooks in that circle.
Yeah, and he would have me go out and get these beans. They would call them beans. It was the main ingredient.
Yeah, Sudafed pills, right?
Yeah, so I was just a kid, and they didn't pay attention to kids when they went in the store at that time, you know. And they would send me in there, and I'd come out just packed, plumb full with these pills, man. And my dad would pay me with meth, and I would take the meth, and I would just do what he did with it. You know what I mean? Sell it, trade it. You know, I had stereo systems at 13 in my bedroom. My mom's wondering where all these stereos are coming from, and I got them just stacked up in my room.
Now, was meth the only thing you were using at that age, at 13?
Yep.
No,
I was only using meth. And so when my dad ended up getting busted and going to prison, I just kept on. Like, I did what he would have done. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I looked up to him, and I thought that's what we were supposed to do. We were supposed to do what our parents was doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that stuck with me for a lot of years, man, after that. And without your dad and him being in prison, like, it's literally, what else are you going to do? You know what I mean?
So dad goes to prison. You're still you're using meth. Were you cooking it and stuff too, or just?
Well, I would help.
Yeah.
I never cooked it personally myself, but I would help. You know,
some of the guys that were left that didn't get busted still had the recipe type deal.
Yeah.
And how long did you do that? Until what age were you just meth only and doing that?
How long was I messing around?
Yeah. How long were you messing up?
For about 2 or 3 years, up until I was about 16, and then I got introduced to Oxycontins. My mom. So every time my dad would go to prison, my mom would just pick the torch up. Like, it was like
with the selling drugs and stuff. Yeah.
So she would be totally against my dad selling drugs or doing drugs, but yet as soon as he would go to prison, she would take over the business, whatever business he had going on. You know what I mean? They would all come straight to my mom. Our living room would be full of people, door knocking on the door constantly. And I just never understood that, man. You know what I mean? It was kind of confusing as a kid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I really didn't have no guidance at all, bro. You know
so
what I mean?
Were your sisters using too, the ones that were there still?
One of them was. The other one, it took a little longer, you know what I mean? Because I don't want to say she was like an outsider, but she was like more of my mom's, like, I don't even know what to say. Like, she was more of my mom's kid, you know what I mean? Like, me and my sister Wissy was my dad's kid. Lenny was my mom's kid. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it makes sense.
And then I think, see, I got on the Oxycontins at about 16, and I'll tell you how I got on the Oxycontins. I had gotten a football injury playing football, and they sent me to a doctor at 16, and he gave me morphine patches. My mom had to sign off on, of course, she's going to sign off on it, no matter what it was.
Right.
She's going to sell it, you know. And that's what she did too. But that's what got me on the Oxycontin was the morphine patches. And Man, I wish I'd have never done that, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So doctor prescribes the morphine patches to you. And you were taking those, or you were giving them to your mom? She sold them. Yeah.
I would take them out, but I was putting them on my back like I was supposed to, but still at 16, that should have never happened.
Yeah, you start feeling that buzz, that downer buzz, and start craving it more. And back then, oxys were a big thing. I can remember the Oxy 80s back then, the real ones that you could snort or shoot or do whatever you did with. They were the real deal back then. They were. I remember that pandemic basically back then.
We've lived through a few drug pandemics
in this town. Yeah, for sure.
I don't know how. I mean, I do now. I know how we did it, but at that time, I don't. You know what I mean?
So you're on the morphine prescribed by the doctor. You're doing at that point. You were doing 80s or oxys also.
Oh yeah.
While you were doing those.
Yeah, for sure.
So what happens after that? Like, how were you taking them? Were you snorting them, smoking them, shooting them, snorting them?
Yeah.
So did you end up getting arrested with it or anything? Or
no, not with the drugs, but I kept stealing. I was a real bad thief growing up.
Were you going to school and stuff still?
No. I quit going to school at fifth grade.
Oh, okay. Damn.
Yeah. So right after elementary school, it was over with.
What about your sisters? Same kind of deal with them?
Well, no, they actually went a little further in school than I did. I was kind of like like I said, I wanted to be like my dad, man. I wanted to run the streets. I wanted to be a thug. You know what I mean?
I knew your dad, and I remember you when you were just a little kid. So I am a little bit older than Jeffy.
Yeah,
and I can remember his dad. I met his dad well before I met him. And I remember Jeffy just being, I can remember him 8 and 10 years old, just a street running little punk kid, man. It's hard for me to remember a whole bunch of it, but yeah, Jeffy was, he was a little crazy ass kid. And
I always loved to do what the older guys was doing. So if y'all was running skateboards, I was running a skateboard. If you guys was on rollerblades, I was on rollerblades. If you guys was at the skate park, I was at the skate park.
Yep. I remember that. I do. How much time did your dad end up doing that? I mean, at least that first time you talked about with the meth.
I think he did 8 or 9 years. He ended up doing in the feds. Yeah.
Gotcha. So kind of carry on with your story as far as like, so you were prescribed that stuff from an injury. You get on Oxycontins. Like, tell me a little bit about that life. Like, what did that bring? What was that like? You were fully addicted, like waking up dope sick without it already.
I was fully addicted, bro. Waking up sick. I kept getting arrested for theft, driving under suspension. I got 100 driving under suspension on my record right now. And I've done 2 1-year stints in the county jail just over driving, bro.
It's a long time in the county
for driving.
That's crazy.
For the longest time, I said, "F the driver's license, dude. You're gonna have to keep catching me." And that was my motto for most of my life, man. And but yeah, I can remember laying in jail, dope sick, bro, wishing that I would die or that something would happen. Just waiting on my time, and like it felt like it was never going to happen. You know what I mean?
Were they putting you on probation? Like, so when you get arrested for a license, say you get out, are they putting you on probation or just turning you back loose to the streets? And
so they put me on probation, and I remember my first probation officer, and he's the chief now. But
okay,
and so me and him got a pretty good relationship.
Now,
yeah.
Back then, I'm sure it was a fond one, but maybe not good.
And you know what's crazy is the whole time, every time I'd get put on probation, they would always tell me, like, "Man, why are you doing this?" Like, they seen something that I didn't see. You know what I mean? And I wish I would have seen it sooner, but hey, I see it now. You know what I mean?
That's the case with so many of us. Man, for sure. So many of us. So you're in and out of jail on probation. Did that lead to like prison then, or did this carry on for years? Obviously, I'm sure at some point prison comes, but we're still a teenager, I guess, at this point in the story, right?
Yeah.
And was it quite some time still before you ended up actually going to prison?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, how did you survive? You didn't have a job.
No, I literally, so I got married at a real young age. So when I turned 19 or 18, I literally just got married, bro.
Yeah.
And shortly after, we ended up having a kid.
Now, did she use too?
No. So when I got with her, she didn't use nothing. And I told you, like, I knew that I could go to a doctor and get something prescribed. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I was always going to Burger, like, oh, my back or, oh, my leg, or, you know, and I had a couple injuries, so I could get these things.
Right.
And I would go to Burger and get scripts and come back. And it got to the point to where she was like, what are you getting out of taking those? Like, what do they do to you? And you know, and the next thing you know, we're both taking them and we're both splitting them. And that just led into a full-blown addiction, bro. Like, she ended up going to doctors and getting pills prescribed to her just so we could have pills and stuff, you know. And
you're dealing and using
at this time point? I wasn't dealing. I was literally just robbing stuff, bro. Like, you remember the old mills that used to be around here?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I used to go in there and spend night shifts, 6-7 hours in there just taking wire. And then
scrapping it at the scrap yard.
And then the next day I would scrap it at the scrap yard, and that's what I did. That was my routine. That was my job.
Now, did your wife go with you to do all that, or?
No, she did not like me doing that stuff.
Oh, okay. She probably didn't want you going to jail, I'm assuming.
Right.
Did you guys, at that moment, did you have kids together at that time?
At that time, we did not.
No.
The kids came shortly after that, though. And my first son came in 2006, and that literally changed my life, bro. Like, that was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So in 2006, when you had your son, were you still in active addiction?
Yeah, I was still in active addiction, but she was not. She had actually, like, was trying to do the recovery thing, before I was even got involved with that.
And how old were you when you had your son?
I want to say, 2006. I should have been 21 or 20.
Okay. And at that point, you probably still hadn't been in prison yet.
No.
Was your dad still in prison, or had he been released?
Yeah, my dad was still in prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when did he get released? Like, as far as, in comparison to that time frame, anyway?
Around 2009.
Oh, okay. So still a decent few years away still. So after you had your kid, what changed? Did you get clean, or?
No, I actually I honestly don't know what changed. I just know that it opened my mind up to, like, different things. Like, it was just fatherhood, you know what I mean? And, like, I had a responsibility, you know what I'm saying? Like,
kids change a man, dude.
I started working, trimming trees, working with different tree trimmers. That was a thing when I was growing up, bro, was tree trimming. Like, you could go to the gas station and there'd be 35 tree trimmers at the gas station. You could just pick one you want to go to work with.
Nice.
Like, that's how it was, you know? Yeah. And it's obviously not like that no more, but
yeah. That's pretty interesting stuff. So you're working, you've had your kid, but you're still in active addiction at the same time. How does that work? So, like, how do you make it to work every day? How are you raising a kid? And how are you, you're just fucked up all the time?
Yeah, I just stayed messed up, bro. And luckily, like, she had a good head on her shoulders. She already had a couple kids when I got with her, you know. And that's probably what kept us going for real.
Did meth come back into the picture at all during any of this? Like, so you had your meth years, then you're on the opiates. Did you go back and forth? Did you use them together, or was meth done at this point?
No, there was no meth. Was literally out the picture. There was not even no meth in Circleville at that time, dude.
Gotcha. Let me ask you this, and you may not remember it, but do you remember what your plans for the future was back then? Like, so you've had your kid, you're doing dope, you're going to work with the tree trimmer guys and stuff. Like, in your mind, what were you thinking long term? Like, did you have a goal or anything, or were you just winging it?
I was just winging it, bro. I was living life just like my dad would have lived life.
Yeah.
Like, fast, about money, about drugs, like making friends, like having friends around. I felt like that's what you were supposed to do. Honestly, like, I lived my life that way.
Were you still in contact with your dad while he was in prison?
Yeah, he would write me. So they switched him prisons like every 6 months because of his case. And there were so many of them that they just had to keep moving them around.
Because they kept being in the same prisons together.
Well, that, and they didn't like him getting comfortable or something. I can't remember what my dad said, but why they moved him around, but they didn't want him to get comfortable.
Now, did he know your lifestyle and that you were out there living that life, or did he think you were doing good? Or, you know, while he's in prison, is he like promoting you being a party animal? And
no, actually, it was like the total opposite. Like, he kind of got the idea that I was still out there. He didn't know the full extent of it. He knew something was going on because things just wasn't right. You know what I mean? But really, I didn't get to talk to him a whole lot. It was just through like letters and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
What was your mom saying during all this? What was she doing?
Still dealing, going to the casino, gambling.
While you were married to your wife?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So how long did you and your wife stay in active addiction?
Let's see. For about 11 years.
11 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we started out on the oxys, and then she veered off from it for a little while, and because she got pregnant, you know what I mean? So she literally had no choice at that point. And so yeah, after that kid though, after Jeffy came, like she got right back into it, like because I was still doing it, you know what I mean? And we kept moving. We had to keep moving and things like that, bro.
And yet Jeffy was with you still as a toddler baby and all that.
Oh yeah.
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 So did you raise him all the way up, or like tell me some of that story? Cause I know you had like some issues from your past where you had you had other kids with some other people, right? Or were they all with Barb?
Not at that
wife?
time I didn't.
But later on in the future you did. Yeah. So were they all with her? Or?
Yeah. I have 3 kids by her. I had a boy and 2 girls. And one of the girls, both of the girls got taken, but the one got taken right at birth because, you know, pregnancy reasons, you know what I mean, and some foolish mistakes.
Gotcha. And then Jeffy was still with you. Jeffy Jr.
Yeah.
was still with you, or Jeffy the third. I guess, actually. You're Jeffy Jr.
No, he's the second.
Oh, okay.
Because technically, I should have been the second.
Yeah.
But they didn't name me completely after my dad. They named me after my dad and my uncle.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah. So your uncle was he like in the life, you know, what was his story?
He was he moved away when I was young. Him and my grandpa both, they moved up out of here. They don't like Circleville. They don't like coming across the county line. They absolutely just despise it.
Probably smart in that day anyway.
Right.
You know, I love this little town now, especially, you know, with my life together and things like that. But there was a time where this town, I mean, it could be poison to a person with an addictive personality.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Take me to another step. So you've had Jeffy, you know, the situation with your daughters, Barb's still with you. You guys are still together. Mm-hmm. Still in active addiction. Like, was there any clean periods during any of this where you stopped or?
No, later on there was.
Yeah.
So like, once Jeffy was born, it kind of like our addiction kind of progressed in a way. It kind of got worse. And
what do you mean by worse? Like,
so like we was just doing oxys and like snorting stuff. As soon as I started hitting with that needle, everything changed, bro. And that was hard, bro.
The buzz gets a lot more intense. The dopamine hit gets a lot more intense, and the desire, the withdrawals, everything intensifies.
It's just the thought of like waking up tomorrow with nothing like that was killing me, bro.
Make you want to do anything.
Oh, literally, and I would do anything. Like I would take anything. Like nobody's stuff was safe, bro. And that was the reputation I had for the longest time. You know what I mean? Like it even kept me from getting work with certain tree trimmers because they're like, you going to steal my chainsaws or something? You know what I mean? Like you never know what somebody's going to do when they're on that stuff, bro.
Oh, I've seen it firsthand. Yeah, for sure. That is the truth. So I know some stuff went down with Barb.
Yeah.
Why don't you talk a little bit about that, about what happened to Barb?
So I told you that the drug addiction got like worse when we started shooting, and it ended up leading to, we got charged with some theft from the elderly for stealing from this old man.
Was that part of the Circleville 30 thing or something different?
This was just something that I ran across this old guy, He gave me a ride, asked me if I knew any females, and my sister and Barb was at the house, and I was like, yeah, I know some females, and I was dope sick. Like, so my wheels was turning. Like, I was just seeing money signs, and his wallet was sitting there, and I thought about just snatching his wallet and getting out of the van, but I was like, no, I better just do this a different way, you know what I mean? And so one thing led to another, and I introduced him to my sister and Barb, and next thing you know, they're out there washing his clothes, and I'm sneaking in the back door, and I'm robbing him while he's out seeing his wife or whatever, and she ended up getting charged, well, for something that I did. And I tried to even tell the detective, like, look, bro, like, she didn't do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did this. Like, he's like, it's too late. They done sent the indictments out, this, that, and the third. So she ended up going to prison, and I was left at home with my son at the time. We only had my son at the time. So I ended up letting him go and live with her mom, and my dad ended up coming home from prison while she was in prison.
Oh, geez. So how long did she go to prison for?
18 months.
Jeez.
And she had theft from the elderly, burglary, and theft from the elderly, and receiving stolen property.
Damn.
All because of me, bro.
For the listeners, so I had asked if you were part of that Circleville 30 thing.
Yeah.
So just to explain a little bit about that to the listeners. So back in this time period, like Jeffy had mentioned before, there's been a bunch of these pandemics in town. Not all of them were drug related, but there was this one Circleville 30 thing, and it was a bunch of these guys in town. Some were tree trimmers. They were contractors basically, but they went around and basically robbed elderly people for money, you know, telling them they're going to do a job and not doing it, or overcharging. And it was there was like a ring of these guys that did that, and it was a whole big thing in this town, and they called them the Circleville 30. A bunch of them went to prison. A lot of them were involved here in the town. A lot of them are out now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I didn't know if it was around that time kind of when it started.
That was way before that, but
the Circleville 30 was?
Yeah, that happened like in the early 90s or something like that.
Oh, okay. But now, did they not start busting those guys till later or something, or did they bust them all in the 90s?
No, they busted them all in the 90s.
Okay.
A lot of them did some good time for it.
I wasn't around. Like, I moved to this town, it was mid 90s, but I was really young. And I just always heard stories of the Circleville 30. I wasn't exactly sure on that.
Yeah.
30. So yeah, take us back. So Barb's in prison. Your boy goes to stay with her parents. What's Jeffy doing?
Jeffy's off the chain. So I told you my dad got out of prison, and I ended up moving him in my house. I ended up moving my sister in the house, her husband, and it just turned into a full-blown flop house, bud. And I'm talking every other week, probation, cops. They would literally sit down the alley and watch for people to walk up. And as soon as they would leave,
was your mom there, or was she on her own?
No, my mom was actually, so my mom worked at Duke and Duchess for, I don't know, 10, 15 years.
And I remember
she was the manager there for a long time. And, but she was selling, but, we wasn't talking to her because she would want me to sell for her, and I wouldn't get nothing out of it. So what was the point? I would just do it myself at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, but that's really like what my whole life consists of, was selling dope for my parents, bro.
Yeah. So dad gets out of prison. What's the main drug at that point? Like
heroin.
Oh, no shit.
It was, the tar heroin.
And he's using, or is he just selling?
No, he was just selling it first, and then, got hurt on a job or something, and I was like, well, just do some of this, and next thing you know, he was like, well, I want to do it again, and next thing you know, he's just full blown gone, bud. I didn't even see him anymore. He was staying at my house, and
was he on parole, or did he do all his time? So he was on parole.
Yeah.
Damn. So did he go back to prison?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
For trafficking.
Damn. Again.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Rest his soul, the guy that wore a wire on is dead now, but he ended up buying 50 balloons of heroin off of him and at Burger King, And man, that's a story itself.
Now tell me it was Burger King because you were trapping out of the hotel behind the Burger King.
No, so we was coming back from Columbus.
Okay.
And dude called, hey, I need 50. My dad was like, all right, well, meet us at Burger King. We're right off the 23, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we pull up in the Burger King, and I remember my dad was like, there's no way. And I was like, what? And he's like, look over there in the hotel parking lot. And there was a
unmarked.
it was a white F-150, and it was the chief. It was the chief.
Oh man!
And
the chief of police.
Yeah. Dang. And he was like, "There's no way he's watching for me. There's no way." Like, and he's like, and dude calls, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm here." He's like, "Well, meet me in the bathroom." All right. So they pull up or whatever, or dude pulls up, and they go in the bathroom, and come back out.
And you're in the car.
I'm in the truck, but I'm in the back cab truck of the cab. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Barb's brother's in the passenger seat. He's the dealer. He's the one that was like bringing it down here. You know what I mean? And so he comes out and he just throws the money on dude's lap. and my dad puts the car in reverse, and he's mad. I'm like, "What are you mad about?" And he's like, "That mom."
Because he knows.
Like, yeah, he knew.
Up.
He knew. And he put the truck in reverse, and we got out like right there in front of Roosters at the stop sign.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, "Oh, here they come." And sure enough, they came from both directions on 23, across 23, and down the service roads. Literally, they had him boxed in, and they came up and put him at gunpoint. And I'm in the back seat, like, and they're pointing the gun through the back window, like, "Don't move."
And how old are you here? 20s?
Yeah, I was 20, probably 23 or something like that. I think Jeffy was probably like 3 years old or something. You know what I mean?
Now, was this your first experience with a drug bust?
No,
like that.
No, I've had all kinds of experiences with drug busts growing up as a kid, watching them come in, kick my dad's door in, put all of us kids on the ground.
So this was business as usual.
Oh
for
yeah,
you.
this was just another day in the office. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. So at that point, did they arrest your dad?
Yeah, so they pulled him out and put gun to his head and said, "You don't know how much I would love to put 3 holes in your head like a bowling ball."
Jeez.
He's like, "You're ruining our town. You're ruining the people in this town. Da 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 da. This and that third. You're killing people. You're done. Like, it's over with." And little did they know that by my dad taking that guy in that bathroom, it messed the whole operation up. So the wire that he wore lost service in the bathroom. It was almost like my dad knew what he was doing, bro.
Yeah,
like
he probably did. If I know your dad, man, he was a seasoned hustler, to say the least.
Yeah,
for sure. So did you get arrested during this stop?
No, they ended up letting us go, but Barb's brother got arrested, and because he had the money in his pocket, and then the boy that was with me in the back, he had some dope on him, so he got arrested. I didn't have nothing on me, so I just got to walk away. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. So I'm going to guess there's probably, so your dad, does he go back to prison then?
Yeah, he went back to prison. Remember Jerry's, I don't want to say his name, but the lawyer.
Oh.
The old man with the glasses.
Okay. Bow tie guy?
Jerry.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And he ended up getting my dad 6 months for selling that heroin.
Damn.
So my dad took it, and he ended up having to do the 6 months, and then he went to the halfway house, and by this time, Barb done got a judicial and came home.
Okay.
And now she's kicked me out.
She's on parole, probably clean.
Oh, yeah, she's on probation. She's clean. She came home to the house with needles everywhere. Like, you go in the kitchen, there was needles everywhere, bro. Like, it was a full-blown trap house, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Flop house for anybody that wanted to come here and get high or bring me some money or whatever. You know what I mean?
Damn. So what happened? She kicks you out of the house.
And I was just on the streets. Every now and then she would let me come back.
You're still hardcore active addiction every day.
Yeah, and I'd promise her, like, "Oh, I'm going to stop," and just things like that, bro. And I kept going to jail, do 90 days, 6 months. I'd come out, go right back. Like, I was always on probation. I don't know why they kept giving me so many chances.
Well, when did they finally stop? Like, take me to the place where you finally get sent to prison like your dad.
Okay, so so once I started like going in and out of the county and experiencing the withdrawals and stuff like that, that's when I started realizing I had a problem. When I started like the withdrawals in the county, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's rough.
Oh my God.
It's death.
And you know what? It's crazy is every time soon I would be in there, I'd get feeling good and I'd be like, bro, I'm not going out there and doing that again. I feel too good. Like as soon as I would get out that front door, that went away. The only thing I could think about was, man, who can I find to give me something?
To get that cigarette and then let me find that buzz.
Ain't that crazy?
Not even thinking about let me go get some food or anything.
Let me go see my kid.
Let me go get fucked up.
That's crazy, bro.
It is, man. It's a beast, that addiction.
But so I started noticing the problem, you know, the cycle, and I wasn't fully like understanding it, bro. Like, you know what I mean? I knew I was getting dope sick, but I didn't know, like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. Anybody that's been in that active addiction part knows what I'm talking about. Until somebody like points it out for you, you know what I mean? Type deal.
Yeah.
And probation was good at doing that. Like they was good at like, you know, letting you know you had a problem and how to cure it or whatever you want to say, how to work with it or whatever. But I just kept going, bro. Kept selling. People would give me packs and I would sell them. And
now, what's a pack? Explain that for the audience. For the listeners that don't know, what's a pack?
A dope pack, like you know, some drugs. Someone would give you like a front. Someone would give you a front. You know what I mean? Shit like that.
Gotcha. And you're saying on the streets, this was happening.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And I want you to take me to what took you to prison. That's ultimately, I'm assuming, where some major reflecting started to happen, some big changes. So, like, how did you end up in prison like your dad was?
So I was selling heroin, and so Barb ended up getting off, completing her probation or whatnot, and
stayed clean, like got off of it, like completed it by passing tests.
Yeah, like she was doing it, and as soon as she got off, it was like right back to it.
Damn.
And so I was selling it heavy at that time, and detective set me up. I delivered $100 worth of dope to a lady, and she ended up being a cop.
Damn.
And what was crazy is I didn't even know her. I probably should have never sold to her, but it was one of my buddies, and he was like, "Oh, I've been selling to her. Like, she's good people, and she'll bring you this, and she's a booster." And she turned out to be an undercover cop.
Damn. And that's how you ended up in prison.
That was my first number. It was trafficking heroin. They had me on 2 F5s for $100 worth of heroin. And I only did 9 months, and I did some of it in the county, so I didn't get a whole lot of prison time, maybe 7 months, you know, and I went to Pickaway. So it was like kitty camp.
Yeah, you could do that, as they would say in the joint, standing on your head.
Yeah, on the toilet.
Yeah. Had you had any experience with, I know you mentioned probation and them kind of, you know, giving you the tools to work with addiction or whatever. Was that rehab? Like, were you going to inpatient rehabs or outpatient rehabs, AA?
It was just PARs at the time. Like, we didn't have new rehabs.
Well, that's like an outpatient rehab, the IOP program.
Yeah, you're right.
Intensive outpatient or whatever.
Yeah, it was definitely.
So you were taking you were familiar with drug rehab programming and AA meetings and all that stuff. So when you get to prison, so what happens there? You get there and you go through reception first, and then they put you in Pickaway right next door. Are you looking for drugs right off the rip, ready to get fucked up?
Oh yeah, as soon as I got there.
Damn.
But well, Marky was there. Like, Marky and all of them was like, "Hey."
Who's Marky?
Marky,
I know who he is, but our listeners have
Marky
no clue.
Is our one of your employees. He's a crew leader. And he's funny. I'm sure he'll pop on here soon.
Yeah, we're going to have Marky on the show eventually.
Got to, bro.
So Marky is another crew leader at JC Stone Landscaping. And you know, a lot of the guys at this company. So one of the things you'll learn throughout this podcast is the guys working for this company all have a very similar past to Jeffy, as do I.
Yep.
We're all from this town here. We've all been through some things. But now we've got our shit together. We're working, we're clean, and we're trying to share what we've learned with all this. But Marky's one of those guys. We're going to have him on the show, and we got a plethora of other guys with a similar experience that you're going to get to hear a lot of stories from. But so back to this. So you know, you're in prison, you run into him there, and you're ready to start getting down in there.
Oh, yeah, I was ready, because I was just, to be honest, I was ready to experience the prison experience. Growing up, my dad, all of his buddies in and out of prison. So I already knew the ropes, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, because as soon as I walked through the door, the first person that asked me where I was from was like, "Oh, there's all kinds of you here. You're at home." And I was
it's
just,
like a rite of passage.
and I was just thinking like, yes, you know what I mean?
That's crazy.
And sure enough, as soon as I got in there, they already had me a package made up, tobacco, clean clothes, you name it, you know, shoes. I didn't get a TV, but I didn't need a TV. I was only doing 7 months, so.
Out on the yard smoking cigarettes
Oh,
all
yeah,
day
every day.
anyway.
Yeah. Squallies.
Squallies, yep, squally world.
That's what they call cigarettes in there, squallies.
Oh yeah, for sure. You also have guys in there that run around with what it's called a wick, and they're the squally boys or whatever. So you're smoking these rolled up things, a lot of times rolled up in a Bible paper, some you know, bugler tobacco or whatever. But these guys run around with a wick, and it'll be a 4 or 5 foot long piece of toilet paper wrapped and rolled up really tight, and they get it lit, and it slowly just burns down. But they'll go out on the yard and they'll light people's squallies, their cigarettes, for them. And when the guys get down to the bottom of their cigarettes, they'll give them the squally ends or squally roaches, squally butts, whatever you want to call it.
The coddy.
Yeah, the Coddy boys. That's what they were called, the Coddy boys. And those Coddy boys would have their little collection of those cigarette roaches, and that was a thing. That it was wild. It was so. While you were in there, I'm assuming you didn't do too many classes or programming or anything like that. Were you worried about getting a judicial release, or did you have such a short time that
I was not worried about no judicial? I didn't have enough time to do any classes. But while I got locked up, Barb ended up going to a rehab again. Well, she went to prison, then rehab, and so that's when the recovery stuff started for me, for real. That's when I really started like
would you say because it started for her, like she motivated you?
She motivated me to.
You wanted to be with her when you got out.
Yeah, because she was like, you know, we got to get our kids back, this, and that, and the third. And I was just like, yeah, you're right. You know what I mean? And she was like, you got to come home and do right. And that was my whole goal, was to come home and do right. And
did you?
No. As soon as I came home, it was like right back to it.
Was Dad out or in?
No, my dad was in. My dad was actually, no, he was not in. He was actually in Columbus with my sister. Strung out, both of them, and yeah, it sucked, bro. My first number when I came home, because I came home, my mom was still strong into it. She had my sisters running it for her, and as soon as I came home, and she was like, "I can't trust your sisters, bub. You're gonna have to do something." And that led to, all right, well, why don't you just have me do it? You know what I mean? And next thing you know, I'm running for her, bro, and That's literally what my life consists of. Even at a young age, like I told you, my dad would go to prison, my mom would pick the torch up, and she knew I had the means, and I knew the people, and so she'd be like, "Bub, you know such and such, don't you?" Well, yeah, I know him. Like that's who Dad met. Well, here, I need you to run this to him, and that's what led to my drug selling. Like, you know what I mean? That's why I always ran back to selling dope, was because that's what my parents taught me to do, bro.
So after that first prison number, you get released. And how many times total have you been to prison?
Twice.
Okay.
Yep.
So after that first one, I'm assuming you go back to the life.
Yeah.
You're dealing again. You're using again. What leads to the second time going to prison?
Well, meth. Meth came back. So I got off heroin. I went to the county jail and did a whole year in the county. And This was my second time doing a whole 365 days in the county
A
jail.
long time in county prison is a lot faster, easier time.
Yeah.
County's rough.
So, and I've been there. If I haven't been there as many times as Marky, bro, I've been there just as much.
Yeah.
Because every time I was in there, he was in there. We used to sit in the windows and talk
You and Marky?
from breakfast till they made us go in our cell, like talk through the window.
We were on a job site the other day, and Marky told me he got in there the most recent time he had been in there, which has been a good while ago. But he said the lady that booked him in said, how many times do you think you've been in here? And he said, oh, at least 14, 15, 16. She looks at him and says 34 times. 34 times this dude was in prison, in the county jail. 34 different times. That's crazy. So, yeah, back to your second time. How do you end up in prison for a second time?
So, like, I kept going. I did a whole year in the county. And I came home. I wasn't on no probation or nothing. And I just, so I got my stuff together. I was working. I worked at Anaheim Auto Auction. Saved up enough money to buy a car. I saved up enough money to get me an apartment. And at the time, she was on HUD, and I wasn't allowed to live there. So I was having to, like, stay wherever I could stay. And I'm trying to stay clean.
Yeah.
And although I was doing better than what I used to, like, I wasn't completely strung out, I would still use, you know what I'm saying? I was doing the Suboxones, and then I wouldn't take the Suboxones for like a day or two just so I could get high. And then Monday would come, I'd go in and do my thing with the probation or whatever I had to do just to fake it to make it, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
But that led to the meth. The meth came back. So I got back into that, and I got a good deal on it one time. So I just started selling, and next thing you know, barb overdoses, and I tried everything to, like, prevent it from happening.
Overdosed on opiates.
Yeah, yep. And that's when I literally, my life just, like, everything just fell apart. So when I tell you, like, I don't even know how to put it in words. It's like, I don't know how to even explain it, bro, for real. But
now, when Barb overdosed, did she survive that, or was that
actually
when she passed?
Like, I was in the bathroom and she was in the bedroom. I came out and it just happened like that quick, bro. And I tried to give her CPR. I tried to, like, resuscitate her, do everything I could to, like, bring her back, and I just couldn't do it.
Damn. And you lost your wife right then and there. And you were there.
Yeah, I didn't only,
man.
And what was crazy is, like, we both was doing good. You know what I'm saying?
That's how it happens, dude.
We was both doing good, and it was my birthday, right before Christmas, like, and not only did I lose her, but I lost my kids, I lost my house, I lost my job. I had the best job I ever had in my entire life, bro. And, like, and I actually liked doing it, you know what I mean? And I just lost it all, bro, and it was off to the races after that.
And that's how you ended up in prison
That's how I ended up in prison the second time. It was like they chased me for like a year, 2 years, trying to buy stuff, having guys buy stuff off me.
And was it meth that landed you in there ultimately? Trafficking meth, I'm assuming?
Meth, yeah. So I was trapping from the motels, running the motels, and I was actually on probation, but probation couldn't catch me. So every time, like, they would come to try to find me, they would go to the front desk first. Well, that was their biggest mistake, because the front desk is not going to work with them. Right.
Plus, the rooms probably weren't even in your name.
No. And every time they would, like, as soon as they'd walk out the front entrance door, bing, on my phone. Hey, you need to leave. Yeah. You ain't supposed to be here.
Indian guys, yeah.
Trying to make it sound like they're evicting me or something. Like, right. I'm trespassing. You guys been renting me a room, bro, in someone else's name. And so they would warn me, and I would be able to just peel out real quick. And that went on for a good minute until they sent the DEA agent or whatever he was. He's dead now, but They sent him in there to buy an ounce of ice off me and got me.
Man. So how long did you go to prison for?
5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
Man. No, that's a bit.
Oh man, bro.
How'd that go?
So it started out, they didn't hit me with the trafficking right off the jump. They actually, so I'll tell you this little story. So probation comes and arrests me, right, on a probation warrant.
Right.
And I had to stuff some stuff up my butt.
Okay.
Right.
The old prison pocket.
The old prison pocket. And and the girl that was in the room with me literally told them, like, she seen me stuff something, but she don't know what I stuffed. So on the way to the jail, they actually gave me a couple chances to turn it over. And I told them, like, you're full of crap. I ain't got nothing. Like, take me to the county. I only got 70 days anyways.
You want to get in there, get that shit out of your butt, and get high.
I'm going to be in there 70 days getting high, you know what I mean? So, they give me an opportunity to, like, turn it over to them. And
because it's a whole different charge if they catch you with that shit trying to get it in the jail.
Yeah, and
that's
like
a whole nother
said,
felony.
So probation's been dealing with me since I was young. So, like, they treated me a little different. It's hard to explain, but when you grow up and you know certain people and they become, you know, law enforcement, whatever, you guys still have that relationship. You know what I mean? But they just really wanted me to change, bro. And they really wanted, like, they didn't want me to get in trouble. Like, they wanted me to get help.
Yeah.
So they gave me that opportunity. I kept turning it down and arguing with them, and told them they was full of crap. And they take me to the county jail. And before we even pull in, I'm like, man, are they telling me the truth? Are they really wanting to help me? You know what I'm saying? It's like my wheels are turning because I don't want to go to prison forever.
Right.
And so before we even go in, I'm like, all right, I'll give it to you. You know, like, you guys ain't gonna charge me with it. And they're like, no, I promise you, we're not gonna charge you. But I couldn't get it out. So I would have to.
Well, you're digging up in there.
Yeah, I would have to poop it out.
Oh,
right. And
yeah, tell us about this. I bet
this is
let's hear the
embarrassing,
details to this.
All right, so they call in and ask if I can come in and retrieve it. They say no, I have to be medically cleared. So now I'm really like, I'm sweating bullets in the back of this cruiser. They're like, we got to take you to the emergency room. I'm like, oh, great. So now I have to go see these detectives. And she's like, well, not necessarily. Da, da, da. I'm like, yeah, I'm screwed. Like, I'm going to prison for sure now. I had no clue about the informant buying the dope off me yet. This was just a probation warrant.
Right.
So they take me to the hospital, Burger Hospital, and I'm met by some detectives, and they instantly showed me all the love in the world, bro. Took my handcuffs off me, pat me on the back. Come in here, brother. Like, we're going to help you. You know, like, trying to make me all comfortable. And,
trying to relax that butthole and let that dope out.
Yeah. So they take me in there, and it was real early in the morning, and I was aggravated. I wanted to just go to the county and just lay down and go to sleep.
Get your time over with. Yeah.
And they handcuffed me to the bed, and these marshals come in there. Jason, probation, or all of them are standing outside of the room. And I'm in there cussing. The one U.S. Marshal, me and him did not like each other. Like, he done snatched a cigarette out of my mouth, broke it, like wouldn't let me smoke. And
that's always the only thing you want to do when you're getting arrested. Let me get one more cigarette real quick. That and a fucking phone call. But
and so they got me handcuffed to the hospital bed, and they're on the phone with the judge trying to get a warrant.
To go up in you.
Yeah, to go up in me because I got suspected meth in my butthole. And
I love it. JC Stone, baby. Welcome to the podcast.
So I'm sitting there and I'm cussing, and the detective, and I'm not even going to say his name, but everybody knows who I'm talking about that is going to listen to it. You know what I mean? But anyways, the detective is like, I can help you. And I'm like, what do you mean you can help me? You know, like, what can you do for me right now? He's like, well, you give me 3 and I'll set you free. I said, 3 what?
That was that detective's motto, man.
And he said, 3 names. Just give me 3 names. He said, I'll let you walk right up out of here. And I was like, I was like, nah, I can't do that. He was like, well, then you just go to prison then. I was like, well, it looks like I'm just going to prison then, don't it? I said, but I'm going with my drugs. I said, because you guys ain't going up, you ain't getting it. And he's like, well, when that warrant comes, we'll get it. I said, well, we'll see about that. That U.S. Marshal kept saying, like, you think you're tough, and da-da-da. And I was like, well, take the handcuff off me and let's find out. You know what I mean? Like, so me and him are bickering back and forth. And so he's like, so are you telling me to go, F myself? I said, absolutely. I said, no, I'm telling you to go F yourself with his pecker, like with his dick. You know what I mean? And he was like, looking at me like that. And I was like, so I'm sitting there. And they come with the warrant. And I'm like, they're like, all right, well, we got to have you sign this. I was like, I'm not signing that. Like, just take me to the county. And I'm yelling at my probation officer, asking him to come and take me out of this room, get me away from these guys. These dudes was big, bro. These U.S. Marshals, huge.
They're usually pretty jacked up dudes.
I'm cracked out, skinny, shriveled up here. But anyways, so I just got tired of sitting there, bro. And I've ran my mouth to all these guys, and I literally just looked at the cop that was standing there, and I asked him for a pair of rubber gloves, and he's like, for what? And I was like, well, do you guys want this stuff or not, bro? And he was like, you know, they're all like, the marshals are sitting over here, and I'm on the hospital bed, and I just jump up and I drop my pants. I take my belt off and I drop my pants down.
Right in front of all these people.
Right in front of all these people, bro. The nurse is standing there like, like, what's he doing? You know what I mean? And I just dropped my pants down, got squatted down like I was about to take a crap. And I just trying to get this out. And I had a rubber glove, put the rubber glove down there.
Oh, man.
And after some... some grunting, some pushing. I heard the bag pop.
Oh, hell
like
no.
the bag was like swelling up, and it would like the air would come out of it, and it would like, like that,
gosh.
and water was coming out, and I finally
that's
get it
horrible.
out, bro. And like when I pull it out, it's the nastiest thing ever. Feces just went everywhere, dude. And I'm talking, it got on their shoes. The U.S. Marshal was like,
oh, he was ready to
40
kill you.
years he's been doing this, he said. 40 years, he said, I've been doing this, and nobody's ever shit on my shoes.
Oh, man, that's horrible.
And he had these nice, black, shiny shoes. You could tell he put wax on them and cleaned them every morning, bro. And I was just sitting there thinking, like, that's what you get. You know what I mean? And I stand up, and the cop's holding the evidence bag like this. I just dropped it in there and walked over, washed my hands, wiped my butt with the paper towels, pulled my pants up, and the probationers came in and cuffed me up, bro, and took me out. And we got outside, and I was cuffed like this, and we get outside, and the chief of probation was like, "Turn around, I'm not taking you to county like that, bro." He's like, that was like too embarrassing. Like I feel. He liked me, bro. You know what I mean? And he put my hands in the front for me, so that was pretty cool. You know what I mean? And they took me to the county. And it was an awkward ride to the county because one of the detectives took me. The one I told him to go fuck himself shit. He's the one that took me. And so it was an awkward ride to the county jail. It was quiet. Did
they end up charging you for that?
That's initially what I went to prison for.
Oh, gosh.
So they ended up indicting me for tampering with evidence, possession, and a trafficking. But I didn't traffic nothing. And I didn't tamper with nothing either, because that when I shoved it, it was already shoved before they even came. You get what I'm saying? Like before they even knocked on the door, I already had it there. So how is that tampering? You know what I mean? Tampering is if like they got me and I try to conceal it while they're there or something. You know what I mean? Like that's tampering with the evidence. You know what I'm saying? So they dropped the trafficking and charged me with possession and. No, they dropped the tampering and charged me with trafficking and possession.
Damn.
I tried to get the trafficking dropped because I wasn't trafficking nothing. Like I was using it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they wasn't buying that story. So I ride out to prison, bro. And while in prison, I get down to like 60 days, bro. and I got another
Of that 5 years.
No, they only gave me 3 off the jump.
Gotcha.
Or 18 months. Then I got some more mandatory time added on while I was in prison.
While you were in there. Oh, man.
So what I was saying is I went to prison, and I'm doing my 18 months, right? All this time goes by. And I had no idea, still to this day, like 60 days before my release date, I didn't have no indictments or nothing. Like, kept checking JPay. Like, my release date was staying the same. And then it was like 60 days right before I went home. My mom sends me a screenshot on JPay, 60 count indictment.
Oh, no.
My heart dropped. Literally, I went back to my rack and cried, bro. Like, 60
bet.
indictments?
That's the worst when you think you're about to get out and then all of a sudden.
Yeah,
boom.
bro.
Yeah.
And like, I'm thinking I got 60 indictments, bro.
Right.
But it's a 60-person indictment.
Right. It's one of those big
So,
Circleville pandemic
yeah,
busts
it was
again.
called Operation Ice Up. That's why I got the tattoo on my arm. And so they hit me on that, and they bring me back to court during the pandemic.
And that was from stuff in the past. So you're in prison. You had sold before and were part of this ongoing investigation. And after you get charged with some stuff, do some time, all of a sudden they bring these old charges up on you.
Yeah.
And say, boom, here's some more time coming for you.
Yep. And so and they gave me some more time. They wanted to give me 7 years, but they ended up giving me 5, and I only had to do 3 mandatory. So I ended up doing like 5 altogether. You know what I mean? Like, or a little over 5, something like that. But I told myself all through that whole prison bit, bro, like, when I come home, I'm doing it right this time. Like, I have to. Like, if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it. And that's that was my motto the whole time I was in prison, bro. And yeah, and I'm glad I stuck with it. You know what I mean?
So when you got out from that, did you stay clean? Was that your last time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So how'd you do it? I mean, like, you get released from prison.
I just stayed away from people, bro. Literally, like, the people, places, and things. That's true.
Did you do a halway house or anything like that?
No, I
you
can't
just
stay
got
home.
released straight to the streets.
Yep.
Did you have a place to stay?
Yeah, I was staying with my mom. Used her address as an address, but I didn't stay there. I stayed in a buddy's garage out here, and I worked with him, and he put me to work the same day, bro. So, like, that was pretty cool. I think if he wouldn't have done that, I probably would have went a different direction. Probably.
What do you think happened while you were in prison for that 5 years that made you want to change and take a different path this time?
Honestly, I think it's just the time. You know what I mean? Like, being by myself, being able to reflect, and just getting older in prison.
That shit catches up with you.
And it makes you think. Like, and I had a garden. So, like, that garden, I don't know, there's something about it, like, it helped me, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what's up. So when you got out, you go to stay with your mom, and you're just telling yourself, I'm going to stay clean.
Yeah, like, I was, hands down, I was not going to do nothing no more.
Well, now, were you on probation or parole?
Yeah, I was on parole.
Okay.
I actually just got off parole, like, 6 months ago.
Okay.
Completed my 3 years.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I tell you what, let's take a quick little pee break. I got to take a pee break. We will be right back in just a minute. All right, everybody, we are back. Sorry about that. We had to take a quick little break. So here we are. So Jeffy, you've gotten out of prison. You're on the straight and narrow now. You're ready to change some things. What leads to where you are today?
All right. So, like, just to backtrack just a little bit.
Sure.
Before I went to prison, I gave my life to Jesus, got saved, got baptized, and for real, that's when it really started. Like, stuff started really making sense to me, and like some things started happening. You know what I mean? Like, my life got literally turned completely upside down after I got saved and got baptized. I didn't have no clue about God, about Jesus, about none of that spiritual stuff. You know what I mean? Like, but I ended up getting saved and baptized right before I went to prison. So, and I think that kind of helped me a lot through prison. You know what I mean? Like, for real, it really did. Kept me, like, positive, like just kept telling myself I'm praying every day. So that's where I'm at today. Like my spiritual journey is like it's taken off, bro, and it's like it's led me to this day right here, to this moment.
That's awesome. It's awesome you get to share this with people now, you know.
Yeah.
So God is what
absolutely.
has kept you clean and is keeping you clean. Mm-hmm. So where are you at today with things? I mean, I can only imagine when you got released, you were staying with mom, probably no car, no job, no anything.
Yeah, I didn't.
Where, you know,
I didn't have nothing when I came home. I didn't have a birth certificate, Social Security card. All I had was my prison ID. You know what I mean? And mom wasn't trying to. She wasn't trying to do nothing for me, like, you know what I mean? And so what led me to today? So I got back to church, bro. Literally kept praying, kept staying active, kept showing up.
Well, where are you at today? Like,
what do you mean?
Like what are you still homeless?
No.
Are you,
no. So,
you know,
I was actually homeless for the first 2 years out of prison. And so I met my new wife, which is Stephanie. And literally, like, things just started falling into place, man. It's kind of hard to explain, but at the same time, it's like she saved my life in a way. We saved each other for real. It's kind of crazy.
I saw it unfold on Facebook. Yeah. Well, hell, I married him. So
yeah.
I married Jeffy and his current wife. I'm an ordained minister and had the blessing of being able to be the guy that married him. And I've been watching their journey on Facebook in real life. And it's been crazy to watch them both move up in the world. I mean, Jeffy's a manager at my company. He's doing great. Stephanie is a manager at where she works and is just rapidly growing, making killer money, moving up the food chain there at her work. They both have matching vehicles. He's got a third vehicle, a pickup truck. They've got their own place now. I mean, you're really killing it.
Yeah.
Dude. Compared to where you came from, you're killing it right now. You got a lot of clean time down.
Yep.
You come to work every day. You're motivated. You're inspirational. You're sharing your testimony with people.
It,
yeah, you're killing it, man. It's awesome to watch it unfold, man.
Appreciate the opportunity to do this, to work for you, bro. Like I told you from the get-go, before we even started this show, before I even started working with you, you inspired me, bro. Like coming home and seeing you was like a big reason why I wanted to change for real, bro. You know what I mean? This time, like, take it serious. Like, I'm like, man, if he can do it, I can do it. You know what I mean?
That's awesome. And at some point, I'll be on here telling my story and my past, because I've got a doozy also and a bunch of stories that involve a whole lot of stuff very similar to Jeffy's story. And at some point, I'll explain to y'all how I got to where I'm at today. And all the series of events that led to that. But it's really been awesome to watch your life unfold. It's been an inspiration to myself and anybody else watching. I see people that they talk about it all the time. People seeing your Facebook posts, people seeing what you're doing. There's a lot of people are proud of you, man. People that matter.
Yeah.
You know,
I take a lot of pride in it, bro, because I feel like it's what I'm supposed to do. You know what I mean? Just like we all need somebody, you know what I mean, to look up to be able to talk to. It's just important, bro, to share your story, bro. You know what I mean?
It's awesome. And I feel blessed to be able to share it with you, brother. And I definitely want to have you back on the show to hear a whole bunch more about then and now. And I'd like to have you on here when we have other people in here, you know, some other guys from the company and stuff too. So I think this is going to be really cool, and I can't wait to hear more of it, share more of it, and hopefully everybody listening, all three of you, hopefully you like what you hear. We're going to keep these shows going, keep them coming, keep just coming at you with a brutal honesty, whether it be stories about shitting in the middle of a hospital room, shitting drugs out in the middle of a hospital room, or what have you. But it ultimately the end game is awesome. You know, Jeffy's clean, working, life is good, God is good, and he's kicking butt, man. And it's really cool. So
I'm at peace, bro, for sure.
Man, that's awesome. That's what it's all about. I really appreciate you coming in today, and I look forward to having you in again.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, everybody. This is the conclusion of the first episode of the JC Stone Show. Thanks for listening.